here I am up the scaffolding tower again. We've just rebuilt it. As I showed you the other day, all of the plasterboarding on the ceiling's done. So I have my equipment, sandpaper, paintbrush and some paint we chose yesterday. It's just an off-white, just really inoffensive. But we have tried and we cannot get the scaffolding tower to the right height for me. I can't quite reach, it's going to be tricky especially to cut in around the beams, or to have it one level up. I'd be bent over the whole time, which is going to be a nightmare. And as you know, this room is super tall, so to have to keep going up and down a ladder would just be too painful. So I'm going to get cracking and I'll show you some progress. In the meantime, you can hear the cement mixer going again. So there's going to be more plastering going on, but look, you can see the progress. There's progress. This is taking filming to the extreme. Here's my filming platform up the scaffold tower. Well, Steve has had a bit of a nightmare with the plastering this afternoon. It's really not gone brilliantly. It's just finally coming together a bit. Look, paint. Oh, it looks really patchy close up. It looks a lot better when it's drying. And along there, but look at everything else I've got to do, and the really tricky bit. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to contort my body yet to get into the one at the wall, because there's the dresser back to contend with. And look at the state of that. I've got to finish painting it, and my goodness me, it is going to be, when we've finished all these filthy jobs, operation cleanup. But I'm really pleased with how it's going. But I am having jelly legs balancing on top of the scaffold tower, balancing on top of this box, but then it makes it the perfect height to cut in. I've done all the cutting in freehand. But look, Steve started cleaning off some of the stone, so where he's gone around with plaster and plastered in some of the joints again and things, he started cleaning off, ready for painting. I am on a painting marathon these few days, but we are quite up against it. Look, I still haven't redone and touched in the dresser back or finished that until the plastering's done to the right hand side there. There's no point, and I'm kind of trying to deal with one paint colour at a time. So I've done huge amounts on the ceiling. I guess, what do you think, Steve? I've probably been painting a full day so far, like yesterday afternoon and this afternoon, not even a full day actually. And Steve he's just had an absolute nightmare trying to do above the cooker. It was not wanting to take, so he's gone off to do another bit. So he hung up this sheet to protect the copper back of the cooker. I mean, it is really, and he did a huge repair on the arch, and while the scaffolding tower, once I finished with it up in this corner, he's going to use it to, oh, you can't really see, it's difficult to tell with this safety bar in the way as well, but it's a massive improvement, but it does need more work, and now that's drying out a bit. We being Steve, also needs to get as much plastering done as he can, because the temperatures are absolutely going to skyrocket. So, right, there's your little update. Oh wow. This happened a couple of weeks ago when we weren't here. I mean, that's quite spectacular. This is the half of the barn that we'd always intended to take down, but it just decided to do it on its own. Oh. That's going to be quite a lot of work to clear up then. My children are arriving at the end of this week, so all hands to the pump, I feel. I mean, something that it has done is given me a really good idea of how much extra garden space we're going to gain. And nobody was hurt. I think it squashed one table. But apart from that, nothing's really scathed. And the half that we're keeping untouched, from what we can see from down here.
Down. But in a way, quite well, because it dropped this half without doing any damage to the other side. It's just a shame that the next beam didn't go, because then it would have taken, you know, it's a bit precarious getting under that. With
what's your plan for it? Will you basically just get a chainsaw and just pump?
They all come off. They were all on this pile here. We're actually on there.
Another day, another update. It's now Monday morning and we start filming for the reveal of this room on Thursday. Some might say we have quite the mountain to climb, but the ceiling's done. Started painting the walls, although the debating about this colour, it's the colour on the left, by the way, where the scaffolding tower was, has been ongoing, to say the least. Steve could not face any more plastering, so we've got this tiny patch to the right hand side of the cooker to do some more layers on the archway. That was one of the worst pieces in the room and most difficult to do because obviously you're kind of upside down. And then this corner, but it's a bank holiday in France. The DIY shop is open, which is miraculous because the French like their holidays, and they haven't got any sand. So we went to the builder's merchant place and they're shut. So Steve's going to see if he's got enough to do kind of half a barrow mix and see if it's going to be enough to finish this room. I started doing some sanding in the bathroom yesterday, but we haven't really touched the bathroom. We are hoping by the end of today to be able to take down the scaffold tower and start to really clean this floor ready for grouting. I think the transformation will happen quite quickly, but just at the moment it feels somewhat overwhelming. Oh, you've already done a bit of the arch?
Well, I've done that.
No, the big arch, no?
No.
Oh, it just, maybe from this angle being all the way up here, it's different.
Sure.
Right, I've painted up around this corner, so the whole of the, I can't get back far enough, fireplace back is done, part way along the dresser back. But while I'm up here, I'm waiting for Steve to finish. Oh, he's just coming down the ladder now. I'm just waiting for Steve to finish doing that bit, because from where the scaffolding tower is, we've got this tiny bit of ceiling that needs to be finished, and I can do it from where it is. And then I need to clear all this mess off these shelves, finish painting the shelves properly, and do everywhere where the plaster was.
I think while they're here, I need to get that mousse into the.
Do you think?
Yeah, the crack.
Does it look worse now it's painted?
Yes.
Steve's just talking about this gap here. Mind the gap. So I did say that we got a mountain to climb, but I mean, I guess I've done about a third of another wall. So that's the fireplace wall done. I've painted down as far as so I can do it hopefully off the ground. I don't know, but it's so difficult because the walls are so textured to get the paint into it. But the only reason that we're painting it, because we all know that I love the surfaces, is there are too many surfaces. There's all the bits that Steve's had to patch in, the original bits where other people have done stuff, the electrician's done stuff. It just goes on and on really as to kind of, it was such a patchwork of different surfaces. So we've had to do it. But also this is a kitchen and we need to make sure that we're not having bits falling into our cooking and into our food. So whereas I can deal with it in the Great Hall, I think in here is another matter. Off he goes.
Give that can a shake for a couple of minutes.
Yeah. See, he can be my assistant for a change because I need him to get me 2 different colours of paint and paint brushes, the dustpan and brush. It's actually quite a big change. I've been trying to clean and clean. We bought some attachments to try and clean the floor really, really well, and we're aiming to do that later. It's just done some more work on this piece of wall to make it a lot smoother. We don't want it perfect. It would look utterly bizarre. Here with the painting going along the top of the dresser back. I think Steve decided that he couldn't paint left-handed there, and he didn't move the lad around, which is why we have that patch. I just asked nothing. And just done, you can see the colour change from the dried colour to the wet colour. So we're getting there. Even unveiled the cooker, and I've started scrubbing it as well. I've started taking any plaster residues and stuff off the sides. I've got to take all of the top off and clean that too. Look at the sink. That's going to look amazing when all inside that nook is painted. I've cleaned and cleaned the old sink, but it still needs some work. I've even brought the hoover down the stairs now because I'm really hoping that when I do the clean of this floor for the last time, been doing it every evening after plastering, that it will be the last time so we can really scrub it. And then we can get rid of the scaffold tower, which would be monumental. Just had to share this monumental moment. The last bit of plastering in this room is done. The painting is done, except for obviously where we need to let the plaster dry. And now we can really clean this floor and get it grouted. So watch this space, but oh my goodness, the heat. And it's going to get hotter and hotter the next few days. So I guess it's a good thing that that's the last day of plastering, because I think that it would have been even more challenging than it already has been. The grand floor cleanup has started. We started with this attachment, then sweeping it up. Then I was nervous that it was marking the floor and scratching it. So we've just done this one with a scrubbing brush, and we're going to see how it dries, because time is running out and there's quite a lot of floor to do. In our true style, we've not finished doing the work yet. And I've said, oh, I think this pot will look absolutely amazing in this little nook. Steve tried to lift it. It's absolutely not happening. It weighs quite a lot. And we're going to need to lift it into the air as well. So he's just gone to get the trolley to bring it through to the kitchen, but it's got to get down this step, up this step, and be lifted into here. So at this point, as they don't like it there.
Jesus.
Is it in? Is it too big? I would like to point out I did measure and it was tight. I think it looks really good. It looks really, really white in there.
Oh my God, that is on the
Edge of too much.
yeah.
Oh, I love it though. At least it's worked and we don't have to.
2 lines forward rather than 1.
I quite like that you can see 3.
Uh-huh.
But I'm just not sure if that is the front lion.
Well,
On that note, I'll stop filming while we have a little discussion. Finally, we've started. Steve's been grouting the floor. I've been doing more painting, although I kind of think that I've painted myself just as much as the walls. That's going to take some scrubbing. The colour that we picked is called lime. Here's to hoping it dries an awful lot lighter. I'm sure it will. Now I'm on standby in here once the grout started to go off a bit to clean and clean and clean. So, but this again feels monumental. There's so many monumental moments this week, but then we've done so much work, it's unreal. Floor update. We mixed up 1 bag of the really expensive grout that we got. The guy said that we needed 2 bags to do this floor. This is how far it went. So, we were in trouble. We made an executive decision to do it with the lime mortar. And not only has Steve done it a lot quicker, we obviously have lime mortar coming out of our ears in this place. So, this is what we've got. He's just about to mix up another bucket load, but look how much is done now. And that's my little bowl over there, and I'm going to go round and clean to get all the excess up. So it's coming along. I've also been doing some painting. The painting in this room is so nearly complete, but I've had to stop that for a bit because obviously we don't want this to go off too much, because then it's going to make the job bigger, and the temperature is rising. I think it's supposed to be 31 or 32 degrees today, so happy days doing this in the heat. And I'd love to be in a floaty dress and flip-flops, but no. Trainers making my feet really hot, and because these shorts are so filthy already from doing so much work, I just thought I'd continue with them. It is quite cool in the house though. Oh, I don't think I showed this yesterday. Made a door curtain to hide our kind of pantry cupboard there, just so things are hidden and it just looks so much neater. We are looking for a door for this to rehang one. There was one there originally, but it's long gone. So yeah, this is going to do for a stopgap.